For What's Hot, we talk about the stories that have us all talking.
Right now, we're joined by communications consultant Ben Merens, plus Jeff Wagner is back. Here's our topic for first off. A fake child abduction in Washington state has a lot of parents outraged. A video titled Child Abduction Prevention and Awareness was posted on YouTube by two brothers. It shows a masked man grabbing a boy sitting on a park bench and then jumping into a van. That masked man then drives off with frantic people running after him. The brothers say it's all to raise awareness about child kidnapping, but did it go too far, guys?
Absolutely. And matter of fact, if I were the authorities out there, I would be looking at criminal charges against these guys. This was not set up like with movie cameras or anything like that. The people that were in the park thought that they were witnessing a real-life child abduction and appropriately freaked out. If they wanted to stage something to get a video, well, it's not too hard. You rope off the area. Everybody knows it's being filmed. They didn't do it. This was a stunt, and I think they deserve to be held accountable.
You know, Jeff, it's interesting because we usually agree. It's the first time we decidedly don't on this. I don't think criminal charges would be appropriate. I think it's a stupid stunt. I think it was ridiculous. I agree with you on that, but I don't think you charge them, you throw the book at them. I think it's a wake-up call for parents. I think, you know, you don't play on the phone or text or make phone calls. You play with your kids in the park, you be engaged with them, so if this was to happen to your kid, you'd be right there. They showed the parents running after the van, and that was a good thing. At least some of them were aware it went on. But this could happen, and if there's any good out of this story, it's a wake-up call to parents with little kids. You really need to be aware of what's going on in the park today. Well, in terms of a stunt, a bad stunt.
Well, right. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't have any objection to, staging videos that show these types of things can happen. But there's a responsible way to do it, and there's an irresponsible way. And the way they did, and quite candidly, I don't necessarily believe that they were trying to do this as a public service. I think they were trying to elicit a response, and they did. To me, Ben, this is the equivalent of crying fire in the crowded theater, which we all say you can't do.
Yeah, no, you're pretty close with that. They backpedaled and said this has been a public service, but they're known as a prankster type video group. They've got the publicity they want. We're giving it to them. And at the same time, is it the same as fire in a crowded theater? No, but it's pretty close. I don't think it warrants criminal charges. I just think it's a sort of shame on you. And at the same time, parents, if you've got little kids in a park, beware.
It does look like they were trying to elicit a reaction or response, like we said, because they drove back after doing this stunt just to see how the parents would react here. It's advertising, like you said, but money can't buy.
No.
Well,
well, for this group, because they're a bunch of pranksters.
The only thing is they are lucky that no one got hurt, even in chasing the van. Or, I mean, a parent could have really taken serious action in fear of that child's life.
Well,
somebody pulls out a gun and starts shooting. Absolutely.
Yeah, one of the viewers' choice questions about the gun range today with all the concealed carry. If there's a parent with a gun and they think they have a shot, even if they don't necessarily have to do it right. They take a shot at this guy running with his nephew. He put his nephew at risk.
Yeah, regardless of whether there's charge or not, don't try this at home, please.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely a good point there. Good point. We'll end on that. Coming up next, we're revealing the big viewer's choice topic of the day.
And Jesse's back with another look at your forecast next.
Now more of what's hot in our viewer's choice topic of the day.
Again, we're joined by Ben Merens and Jeff Wagner of 620 WTMJ. All right, you decided. Here's the topic. Support is now coming in to help a mother accused of leaving her kids in a hot car. A 35-year-old Arizona woman. She lived in Arizona. Okay, setting the scene. She went on a job interview, left her 2-year-old and 6-month-old in a car. It was 85 degrees out that day because she couldn't find a babysitter. A New Jersey woman felt compelled to help that mom. She launched an online fundraising campaign. Right now it's at $106,000. What do you guys think? Should she receive public support for this?
Well, kudos to the viewers for picking this topic because it's not so much her story as the broader picture. We need to make sure that there are programs in place to help people who have this situation so they'd never dream of leaving their kids in the car. She shouldn't have done it. First and foremost, the kids are more important than the job, but maybe she brings them into the job interview and says to the employer, I need this job, I need to take care of my kids. The kids come first, though, and I want you to know what kind of character I've got. So yeah, she should be getting support, but we should be giving support to people before it gets to this.
If you can donate one dime to this woman, this is God's way of telling you that you have way too much money. The one thing that we left out of this, she left these kids in the car for almost an hour and 10 minutes. It was over 103 degrees in the car. The children were strapped in and apparently begging for help, and some office worker ended up finding them. She didn't even look in for an hour and 10 minutes. Now, I understand that, you know, this is a bad situation. She should have probably taken them in or found something else. But this is not a sympathetic figure in my mind. It is a miracle that these children are alive. And here's something else. If she had done the same thing to two puppies, you can guarantee that she would be being reviled over the internet instead of raising $102,000 for her.
It is pretty amazing what we see when the causes come up on the internet, how quickly money gets thrown out. Jeff, I agree with you. The situation itself was terrible. It shouldn't come to that. If there's a mom with two little kids who needs to go on a job interview, there should be a better way in any community so those kids are not stuck sitting in a car. The fact she did it, if you punish her, you punish the kids. But the pathetic story here is that she would have done it. And then you now have people in the after effect finding out, here, we're going to give our money. Now I'm wondering, are we going to find out in a month this is a big hoax?
Well, yeah, that's the thing, and apparently, I mean, she's had child care issues, issues with children in the past. So I think there's more to the story, but I'm amazed. 102 grand. I mean, honest to goodness.
Yeah, and it's still rising on that website. We'll leave it there for now. Thanks, guys. What's Hot discussion continues online. You can find that page at TMJ4.com.